Hello everyone, and welcome to another edition of Fey Fitness. Today we are going to start our self-defense series. So if you would like to learn how to be more safe in public spaces and know what to do in case unfortunately something happens and someone tries to attack you, stay tuned and I'll show you some great tips and tricks. Thank you for tuning into this new series, guys. I will do a disclaimer right off the bat. The majority of the individuals who have been private messaging me and asking for this series are females, so that's what I am going to gear most of the self-defense methods and tactics to. If you are a gentleman watching this show and have some concerns or maybe some comments and advice you want to give, please leave that down below. I welcome that, and if you want to see specific moves for how to keep yourself safe, I can definitely add that later on in the series. But for right now, I want to stick to the core audience who's been asking for this, and that's been the ladies. So before we get into any of the hands-on moves or the physical things that you can do if someone is actually attacking you, I want to talk a little bit about prevention, because a little bit of prevention can go a long ways in keeping yourself safe. It doesn't matter if you're traveling in the early morning, at night, or even during the daylight, in broad daylight down a busy city street. These are some things that you can have in your toolkit that'll help keep you safe. First and foremost, if you're walking alone, be aware of your surroundings. You don't have to be super hyper vigilant and always on the lookout, but just kind of glance and be aware of your surroundings. That's one of the main things that a predator is looking for in a victim. So they're looking for someone who's kind of oblivious, traveling, say, in a dark alleyway where there's not a lot of people or there's not good lighting, somewhere where it'd be easy for them to come and attack you. The second thing you want to think about is your posture. A predator is looking for a victim, and in a lot of the research that I've been doing, and even the self-defense classes I've taken in the past, they're looking for someone who looks small and meek and just kind of those people that fold in on themselves. So when you're walking down the street, you're looking at your feet and not really aware of your surroundings, and you're kind of coiled in. Those people are much more likely to become targets as opposed to someone who's standing with good posture, their shoulders are back, their head is up, and they're just exuding that confidence. So just kind of be aware of how you're carrying your body down a busy city street or a less populated city street is having an impact on how others are seeing you. And if someone is up to no good, they're going to look for someone who looks more like a victim, unfortunately. So try to be aware of that and just have good posture, shoulders back, head up, be aware of your surroundings, and have that air of confidence about you. Another good tip you can do is if you're leaving, say, a restaurant and going to your car, and say your car is parked a couple blocks away, have your keys either in your hand or in your pocket. Keys make a really good weapon. If it's an impromptu situation, if you have the keys in your hand, let me grab my keys, you can, I know this might look a little weird, but put your keys between your fingers like this, and if you were to punch someone with this, it's not going to feel very good to be on the receiving end of that. Sorry I don't have more keys, I kind of travel light, but just having your keys in your hands is great, especially for, you don't want to get to your car if you think you're being followed and then dig around in your purse for a couple minutes while you're looking for your keys. You want to be able to get in your car, lock the doors, and be safe. Another thing when it comes to getting into your car, especially at night, that you've probably all heard, but always look in the back seat. Sometimes there are those creeps out there who will get in your car, hang out in between the seats in the back, and wait for you to come and get in the car. And my final tip is to use your voice. So say you followed all this advice, you're walking down well-lit streets, you're trying to stay in populated areas whenever possible, because again, predators aren't going to attack you with a whole bunch of people around. They're going to wait till you're kind of on your own or in a less densely populated area. You've got your shoulders back and your good posture, you're being vigilant, and sometimes there are those weirdos out there that just for whatever reason, want to do something naughty, and they are going to come at you. A lot of the time, you can avoid any kind of physical altercation by just raising your voice, saying a simple no or stop, and getting loud can do wonders. Because again, predator is looking for a victim, someone who's going to be, small and compact, and small doesn't mean in height, it just means someone who's carrying themselves very meekly or very self-conscious. And they're also looking for someone who's quiet. When they come to nab you and do whatever horrible things they might want to try to do, they're looking for someone who's not going to fight back. And if you are able to raise your voice in that situation, you're A, drawing attention to what's going on, and B, you're also telling that predator, hey, I'm not going to go down without a fight. So a lot of the times, just raising your voice like that will frighten someone off. I know that's really hard for a lot of people. It was for me, especially in our self-defense class when we had to yell out stop or no. That was a difficult learning period for me. I'm just kind of naturally a quiet person, but it's really good to have that in your toolkit to be able to have that just in case. Hopefully you never use it, and hopefully you'll never have to use any of the things that I'm teaching in this series. But it's good to know it just in case. So that's all for today, guys. Thank you so much for watching today, guys. If you have any comments or any moves that you would like to see covered in this new series, please leave them down below. And as always, like and subscribe to my channel. I really appreciate everyone who watches. You guys are awesome, so thank you so much. And I look forward to seeing you next week, where we get into some of the more physical, hands-on contact moves for self-defense. Bye, guys.